With the likes of TAKOMO, Cali, Kirkland and of course McGregor taking over the direct-to-consumer iron market in 2025, I have a set of irons that are cheaper than all of those and could well be the best value irons of the year. Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson and welcome back to this YouTube channel. Could these Ram irons be the best irons for you of 2025? And get ready for this, sub £500. Let's go on with it because this is going to be ridiculously interesting. Okay, so let's put these Ram axial irons to the test. These things come in at £200 less than a set of TAKOMO D2C irons. And there's a little bit of tech in there which we'll talk about. But I'm joined today by Christopher. Chris, how are you?
Very good.
Chris, we're at your home golf course today at Lindrick, and we're going to play a worst ball scramble with these clubs, just to see potentially how forgiving they can really be. And of course, guys, we're going to talk numbers today for these as well. When I say numbers, we're going to talk price. Ooh. Because it's interesting, isn't it? It's how TAKOMO kind of started this movement.
They did,
and who's going to address the elephant in the room of TAKOMO's irons just kind of creeping up in price, and other brands like this potentially coming in at that cheap D2C market. So I've got the 5 iron. Straight away, this looks absolutely, I don't know whether it looks gorgeous or whether it looks confusing.
Yeah.
Because it's quite small looking. And Ram claim that there's not a lot of offset, but I think there's quite a bit of offset on there.
Compared to the TAKOMOs, I would say it does look a little bit more short.
But that feels fantastic, to be fair. Nice low flighted shot.
A long way down there as well.
And if we start to talk components about these clubs as well, guys, so you can pick what grips you want, you can pick what shafts you want. We've of course got the KBS 120 Tour, and I believe it's some kind of lambkin grip on there. Chris, do you want the 5?
Oh yeah, go on then. I've got the 6, but we'll hit the 5.
So plenty of options on the Ram website if you are thinking about buying these at sub £500. Nice. That's exactly what you want when you're playing worst ball.
Even
Both
there,
of you, straight down the middle of the fairway.
Bottom strike there still felt good.
No, and I think one of the big things, if we kick off with, is bag appeal. So if we look at bag appeal here, and Bobby gets right up in the grill, I think, are they trying to look a bit like a set of 201s maybe, or even maybe a set of ping irons? And especially when you start looking down at the golf ball, if we do get those nice and clean, I think they're trying to look PXG or ping light with that nice white bottom groove there. So they don't look as premium though. The faces don't look as premium, but I'll put that in my bag, Chris. I'll help you out with the weight load. We have actually played a couple of holes already with these today in a couple of matches, and we've hit some really, really good shots. They're certainly strong lofted. They're certainly designed to go a long way, but is that all they're designed to do? Let's find out. So let's talk elephant in the room. Let's talk money, because how much do these cost, Chris?
For a 4-to pitching wedge, it is £439.
Which is about what TAKOMO's used to cost, or about what Cali's potentially used to cost. And I feel like there are now brands going, you know what, we'll take you on at your own game. We'll make an iron that's D2C, that's forged, that's pretty forgiving, but it's going to be cheaper. And I think this is where the market's potentially shifted in a good way, because if the battle is not a race to the bottom, but it's a race to get the best performing budget clubs, everyone's a winner.
Yeah, but the big thing there is obviously there's a lot more options down here, but also then your premium brands are also coming back. You see, I mean, drivers have gone down this year in regards to price for your premium brands of irons.
It's almost like they're starting to realise that they were taking piss quite a bit, and now these other brands have swooped in and took a market share.
Yeah.
As soon as you take market share in any walk of life, your competitor has to react. Ooh. Tell you what though, 2 great tee shots here.
Listen, which one's the worst, Bobby? You decide. Pressure.
Probably the one on the right, the harder line in.
Oh.
Yeah? Well,
there we go. We take mine.
We'll take it. Right, what do we have in? 112 playing 114. It's just a nice little pitching wedge, is it, that we've got?
I'll let you have the pitching wedge.
So the pitching wedge I found from playing a couple of holes already today, it goes a long way. Like I've hit it from 150 yards a couple of times and it's done really well. Can we play it down a little bit? Can we nudge that little 120 shot, because that's where potentially you are getting the money, or your money's worth, should I say, on.
I mean, 44 degrees, so you think TAKOMO with 301s, for example, 46 degrees, so more traditional.
But also there's like Callaway and Ping clubs at 29 degrees for a 7 iron.
Yeah.
So you're into the 42, 43 degrees then. Looking down at it, I think it looks really cheap. I think it almost looks like a Doneo Slazenger set, because that club face doesn't look premium, does it? And the amount of offset on there doesn't really do it.
It looks very big, I think, from the top position.
Yeah. But you can forgive all that for the price if we can hit 2 good shots in here.
Good fly.
That felt pretty good. That should be all over it, should it?
Yep.
I'm more than happy with that for a shot.
Thank you very much. Again, I like chamfered edge on the front as well, which is one thing. Again, for interaction.
Yeah, it's a nice divot, isn't it? It's nice
Yeah.
turf interaction. And it's a green in reg.
Ooh,
That's just to the left-hand side, but if it's flag high, which it is, it's just a long pull up the green. Is that the offset that's maybe put you off a bit there?
Yeah, I think so. You see it obviously more on the shorter. I don't feel like it's that bad in the longer stuff, but as soon as you get down to that pitching wedge, I do feel like it certainly does catch the eye.
But then I suppose a lot of golfers who are buying these are potentially going to want that offset.
Yeah.
So you look at what Rams say about these clubs online, and they say that it's a forged player's feel. They say that there's plenty of forgiveness with the perimeter weighting, but they also say it's minimal offset. I don't think that's right personally, but
no, I'm guessing this. I've tested also the FX77 irons, which are a hollow body club. There's a lot more offset on those. I don't know if they're just
maybe
comparing them
minimal
to
in
their own.
comparison, which is a fair shout, isn't it? But again, for sub £500,
Yeah.
I'm not leaving this whole thinking, oh, these are rubbish.
No, 5 iron, pitching wedge, birdie putt.
Right, so yours is actually probably, is yours closer than mine? Mine's bang on line, but I feel like yours is,
There's not much in it. What do you think?
I think yours is still probably further, to be honest. This isn't a bad birdie putt.
I'm going for an own baller on the old worst hole here.
So interestingly, the full set of irons costs less than this putter. So when we start to talk about value for money in golf, how can one club cost more than a full set of irons?
Yep.
You can say that R&D goes into these putters, you can say that obviously marketing goes into these putters, and Ram used to be such a big brand, didn't it? I think that's one thing which they've got a head start on that maybe companies like TAKOMO and Cali and Kirkland didn't have. They've got the history, they've got the legacy of the brand.
I think again, obviously, like you say, they've had the tour validation.
Even McGregor. So McGregor now have that budget set, don't they?
Yep, that's true. Go.
Oh dear.
It could be the worst ball again.
Yeah, we both have to hold that now as well.
Yeah. I mean, one big thing as well here, you can choose from a 6 iron to a pitching wedge, for example, as well. So options wise, again, not just shaft and grip. You can mix and match that set.
Yeah.
Great roll.
Bring it back.
Bring it back.
You could have hit that a bit harder, couldn't you?
I could have tried, couldn't I?
Well, so you've done that now, and now I've got to hold this.
Well, don't let us down. Oh, never in doubt.
I tell you what. Pressure. And it was nearly the putters that undid us.
It was, wasn't it? To a par 3.
Okay, 11th hole here at Lindrick. Gorgeous looking par 3 flag right at the back of the green. So the bunker shouldn't really come into play.
What's point to point saying?
We have 172 yards. Really good par 3 from here, isn't it?
It is a good par 3.
So we're going to go 8 iron. Now, 8 iron 172 isn't usually my bag, but with just how far these go, and we will talk numbers throughout this video, I think potentially it's the club. Just 2 ones, Chris. There's your worst ball.
Yep. First one ever.
Does this get there?
Yep.
I've not hit that very well, so I'll be interested if that's up. Tell you what, it tried, didn't it?
It did. It was past the bunker, wasn't it? It just caught the slope.
So that was heely, very heely, and I feel like the ball speed's dropped off quite dramatically, but it was a nice enough ball flight. It looked okay. It still, I had the feedback from it, which was a nice thing. Sometimes on irons you can't tell where you've missed it. That's nice. I sense it's going to be my shot we're taking, and it is. I feel like almost there, it's one of those where just because it's a long hitting iron, you don't need to try and hit a, we could have maybe hit one more, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Or I could. I think you're
Hit
pretty
one
flag
more.
high. I'd like to, I've got a 6 here. And I'd like to see if I can just potentially flight it down that little bit.
There's your tee.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
Stole it.
You know, rather than just trying to hit it full beams, because with a TAKOMO and a Cali, even the McGregors, you can kind of flight them down a touch. So just middle of the green and let it cut off.
Yeah.
It's too boxy, this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those where you look down behind it and you're not sure what you're thinking.
But in fairness, that's exactly what I was trying to do.
That's a great flight, and that is
That's the perfect shot, isn't it?
pin high.
So again, you can kind of forgive any element if you can perform a shot like that. Shame it was second time round.
It is. Let's go chip.
Let's put this back more to the point. Always leave the course in a better state than what you found it, Christopher.
Correct.
I thought you'd know that, being the member. But I guess I'm the guy with the hat on, aren't I?
You are today. Must be trying to butter them up.
Right. My other one chases out lovely. It's just 15 foot long of the flag, but unfortunately, we're down yonder, Chris.
Down yonder.
Performance-wise, is that forgiving? I didn't hit it that badly.
It's lost what? 10 yards? Shot.
Oh, how far that's
That's
released.
not what I expected.
Well, I didn't have them down as both doing that.
No, me neither.
And yours was just a little bit worse than mine.
I know.
This is the thing with worst ball, though. You just have to both. There's a lot more pressure, obviously.
Oh dear. Stayed there.
Bogey.
One over. Oh.
Okay, 1 over par, worst ball. Not the end of the world. I think we did okay to par the first. 5 iron off this tee. I'm trying to get in my head what they look like.
McGregor's, I think.
Yeah,
The old
there's-
MacTech irons. Was it MacTech?
Right, this isn't. We're going to have to hit this and then probably this again, are we?
Yeah. What do they look like, those, the tailor-made racks?
I don't know why, but the 5 iron looks better than the 6 iron. I don't know if it's like the leading edge is a little bit different or what, but top line maybe. Anyway, we're into the wind. Can we play down that low one again? I must admit, that felt absolutely fantastic.
Great ball flight.
Is that position A if it's long enough?
Yeah, if it's long enough, that should be good.
Lovely turf interaction. I don't know the difference between the 5 and the 6. I don't know. Just doesn't look like the same set of clubs. Probably not a great start, is it? But nice.
I mean, it's not the low one I hoped for.
Sounded good though.
Felt fantastic.
It's a long way down there as well, in fairness.
It is.
So let's just have a look, because I don't know if you know what I mean here, but so obviously 5 and 6 iron there, both got that chamfered leading edge, which I think is the norm now. It's a necessity really when you're buying clubs. But if I put them down, the 5 iron top line looks way thinner than the 6
The
iron.
6 does look huge, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is that
Bob's having a mental breakdown here. All right, Bob.
a defect? Is it a flaw?
Yeah, I don't know why the 5
I
iron's
see,
so...
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that, but the blade length also looks different.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
I mean, other than that, we're
Well.
off to a good start.
There we go. Right, I take it mine's the worst.
And I think so. I mean, again, distance-wise, good. Position A, you pass the troublesome tree.
143. Feel like it's playing a lot longer than that though.
Yeah, I do. Do you know what? It's that 6 iron.
Yeah.
It is.
That same second shot on the par 3.
Yeah, that's the shot. Little fade off those silver birches, the wonky birch. Dead straight arrow.
That's absolutely been on string, hasn't it?
That never moved, did it?
Yeah.
That is position A, uphill putt.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that as a strike as well. So I forget everything I said about that 6 iron.
6 iron looks great.
Nice. Stay there. Tiny bit wider than mine, but it's a chip up the green.
It is, not my best there. I don't take it aback about this 6 iron.
crap. Okay guys, let's discuss some numbers for this RAM set of irons. You can see I also have a TAKOMO 301 iron as well. It's a little bit weaker lofted, but it's a very similar ideology of what we're trying to do with a D2C iron. And from this angle, I think they look really, really good. As we've discussed out on the golf course, not quite so good looking when it comes to maybe down at the ball, but I've set a green out here at 170 yards. The 7 iron, it looks quite small down at the ball, to be honest. But that actually felt really nice and soft. That felt a lot softer than what I anticipated it to. And that's carried 152 yards, releasing out to 159. Quite low spin at 5,300. Now, I didn't quite catch that, but I thought it would carry quite a bit further than 152 yards. So let's just keep going. We'll hit a TAKOMO in a minute. That felt really good. More spin that time at 6,500. It's dropping out the air again though. That's another 152 carry, so it's very consistent 157 total, but I would imagine even with the weaker loft, the TAKOMO should be going maybe a little bit further, but let's continue, because I must say, these feel a lot better than what I was going to give them credit for, to be honest, in the studio. So that one's going to be a little bit further. That's a 163. That's a lovely finish as well to this 170 yard hole. As you can see, 6,600 spin, so plenty of spin that time to stop nicely. Maybe the forgiveness element isn't quite there with these, but I do feel like from a feel and sound point, these are doing pretty much what I want. The one thing I'm struggling with here, because that's still in the air at 160 odd, that's a 171, 177 total. Front to back dispersion isn't looking the best with these clubs, and I don't feel like I've necessarily hit loads of totally different golf shots. The club head speeds have been pretty similar. And that's a little toey strike, but again, spinning nicely at 6,100. So the spin rates have been really good. There's your 164. That's the shot that I would hope to hit. That's the shot I would anticipate to hit with this 7 iron. A nice 165. But unfortunately, front to back, there's quite a big difference from some of the shots. That's the shot where I have mishit it, but I'm not sure where on the face. So it's a 157, 163 total. It's not the end of the world. But I'm not really getting the feedback element of, oh, that was slightly out of the toe, that was slightly out of the heel. So we'll go one more, because I do feel like for the price, these are particularly good, to be honest. 6,000 spin that time, that should be all over the flag if it's got the legs. 159 carry. It's really not the end of the world for a miss hit at this price point. So we've got the KBS Tour 120 shafts in there, and we have exactly the same in the TAKOMO 301. Actually, is that the same or is that slightly shorter? Is that just the butt of the grip? What do you think, Bob? Could you say it's half an inch shorter, or is that just the grip style? I think that's shorter. You look at where the shaft bands are. There. I think there's maybe half an inch in there.
Yeah.
So, 7 iron, weaker loft, slightly shorter shaft length. What we're going to get with the TAKOMO. Lovely strike there with the TAKOMO. That's a 7,000 spin. But I feel like that's going to be, again, that kind of 150 odd shot. So comparable already. If I can hit a couple of long ones now with the TAKOMO, they're going to be very, very similar. You're not going to get a load of forgiveness with any club like this. And potentially, it's just my swing that's giving me that front to back dispersion, which again, I don't particularly mind because it's not a hollow bodied iron. It's not the world's most forgiving iron. And to be honest, the RAM feels really good because I know that the TAKOMO is a nice soft feeling iron, having played them. So to compare it to this and have that nice soft feel with the RAM is pretty good. That's a 155 releasing up to 161. So you can see that potentially the RAM's going to be the longer club with it having that slight extra shaft length and slightly stronger loft. But I know I can hit that shot with the TAKOMO most of the time as well. Let's get back out there and let's see how much damage we can do with the worst ball. But actually, looking at it numbers-wise, that Ram is a pretty good performing club, albeit not the most consistent. But I suppose you don't get everything for that price, do you? That could go in, that, if it's just keeps cutting. Nearly.
Right, not my best.
No, it's not
I
terrible,
mean,
is
from
it,
a
in
bad
fairness?
strike, again, it's not done bad front to back wise.
I'm going to have a go with that pitching wedge, a little bump and run. I'll get my ball. That's done really well though, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. That would be the perfect shot on this hole.
Like feel-wise, I don't feel like they are as soft as
No.
TAKOMOs or Callys or even the Kirklands, yeah.
No, I agree with you there.
Right, come on, hold this twice for a birdie. Little left to right mover.
Yep.
Did okay, it was a bit skinny, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's nice, that's at it. Go on.
Ooh.
Were we expecting that to check or not?
I'm waiting for it to spin back. I'm not really good at this worst ball malarkey.
I don't think we're doing too bad, to be brutally honest.
The count up on screen of how many of mine we've taken.
You've got a hold of them though, haven't you?
Good putts, sir.
1 over through 3. And I think, with some of the iron shots we've played, I don't think these are that bad.
No, for the
I think
value for money, I think they are good.
premium components, an okay forward head. The head isn't as good as like a 301,
No,
but it's cheaper.
that's the thing, isn't it?
This is one of the hardest par 3s in Yorkshire, the closing hole here at Lindrick. And we have into the wind.
It is into the wind again. Always is this hole.
185 playing 190.
Right.
Good job the 5 irons at 21 degrees of loft.
I mean, I've not really put on a display with these.
That's okay, it's up there.
It would have got, which
I mean,
interesting.
It's just like, for a worse ball, I'm just like so lacking motivation now, it's scary, but...
Forgiveness-wise, I mean, it's up
If I had a
there.
1 now, would it not count?
No, wouldn't count. Well, it depends. He's getting the Perettis in. That's a great ball flight, that. Ooh.
I don't feel like the forgiveness is there.
No.
Just a little bit sure. We both missed that green for reference. But there we go. Right. Mine was probably a worse shot than Chris's, but an easier chip, so we'll go with yours.
Let's try and open this wedge up and see if we can... Got plenty of green, haven't we?
See if it'll run out nicely.
Yeah.
Sit. Sit. Yeah, that's a nice shot, that.
That sat quite well, didn't it? The panic in Bob's voice then, as soon as I struck it. Sit down! That's a spin.
Oh, that's just stopped dead.
It's too good. Plenty of spin on it if we take the positives, but...
Not when it was wanted.
No, not ideal.
I'd like to say that we're not going to blame the irons, but I feel like the drop off on that 5 iron there was mammoth.
Plenty of spin off the wedge though.
Yeah, when you don't want it.
Well, yeah. It'll take some getting used to, these clubs, I would say.
Blaming Chris though.
Well, say no more.
How's that not gone in?
Well, it's because you were giving it large.
Oh dear.
Good putt though.
It was a good putt, you're right. I don't know how we've come off here with a 4, to be honest. But we're blaming James for the bogey.
Correct.
Guys, if you've enjoyed that, smash that subscribe button. That is the Ram irons, of which I think, are they good value or are they cheap rubbish?
Ooh.
I think they're somewhere in the middle. If you've enjoyed that, smash that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all same time tomorrow.